What's going on? This your man's once again, Movement on the Mic, back with another episode of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything celebrity news, world news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's go. Okay, so first shout out I'm going to give the shout out to my flag theme series to episode 20, okay? My flag theme series. Okay, the flags that I will be representing will be the flags that are important to me, that I have heritage in, and at the same time that I want to bring and shine light attention to the economic struggles, the financial struggles, and the worldwide prejudice and racism that we deal with on a daily basis. Yes, I came up with the flag theme to episode 20. Walk this path with me and let's get into these headlines. Okay, so I got an Instagram headline, and if you heard this headline, I'm pretty sure you probably have. Let's get into it. The president of El Salvador, President Nayib Bukele, says he will not allow a man who was unlawfully deported to the country by Trump's administration to be returned. Okay, and I quote, he says, "I don't have the power to return him to the United States. How could I smuggle a terrorist back into the United States?" Okay, now this is a story that's been developing because one Abrego Garcia, you know what I'm saying, with alleged ties to MS-13, was under the protection of the United States government at one point in time, okay? And the family stands firm. As previously reported, Garcia had a court order mandate that stated he would not be deported back to El Salvador, now the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. All right, so the Trump administration, they got it wrong. You know what I mean? They ended up picking them up, or did they get it wrong and they did it on purpose? See, you got to understand this here. You know what I'm saying? Because the story continues. Trump's admitted administration error has left it up to the president, Bukele, you know what I'm saying, to figure out, whether he wants to release him into his country, you know what I'm saying, or what have you. Okay, Trump has left it up to the president of El Salvador, ladies and gentlemen. And your guess is as good as mine, but you already heard his two statements that I've just mentioned. All right, ties to MS-13, they are considered terrorists, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and so you got to understand, there is a movement, an actual movement for people to be like, whoa, no, release them. Release them back into the country, our country, El Salvador's country, Timbuktu. It don't really matter. The point is, there's a group of people who want to release criminals back into society, and not even just that. It's not just in this realm, okay? It's not in the world news realm. It's in every single realm, and it's all speared by whom, ladies and gentlemen? The Democrats. So I mean, again, you have to, you have to think about this at the long run. Like, why is there a movement to release criminals? If that's the case, there's a bunch of black criminals across all of the prisons in this country who should be released with a second mode, a third mode, a fourth mode of grace. And they're not considered terrorists at all. As a matter of fact, they've been wrongly convicted. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, if there's a movement to actually get the back of people who are actually designated terrorists, who are actually criminals, who actually got bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies, why isn't there a movement for people who are actually locked up, actually serving time years upon years upon years, who are innocent? You see what I'm saying? Who need that third and fourth grace? Because as we know, the prison system has nothing to do with rehabilitation. It has everything to do with punishment. All right? So that's the kind of thing that I get from this headline. That's what pops into my mind. You see what I'm saying? It's absurd. It's like, how could y'all have the audacity? And again, this is not just world news. This is in every facet. You got factions of people. You see what I'm saying? And they just so happen to be Democrats. I'm pretty sure there's some Republicans there. I'm pretty sure there's some independents sprinkled in there, here and there. But the point is, there's a faction of people who are moving to have this happen. And it's like, it reminds me of the Carmelo Anthony story, completely unrelated to the basketball star. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. But no, the Carmelo Anthony story I'm referring to is the 17-year-old kid being released on bond that was originally $1 million that got reduced to $250K for a fatal stabbing of Metcalf, both 17. You see what I'm saying? Over a very small and minor dispute. Okay? And there is a movement behind him. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. if you read the story, and I advise y'all to definitely go check out the story and get into the details to see for yourself. But if you read the story, you check the details, you know who's in the wrong. Okay, in my last episode, I just got done talking about Lacey, you know what I'm saying, and his choices, which led to his suicide. In this episode, I'm talking about the contrast of the same thing. Why is it, you see what I'm saying, that when people are making these choices now, there's a movement like, oh, it's okay, he should go free, or it's okay, be lenient. Now, don't get me wrong, his father definitely jumped to his defense, and I advise all parents to jump to your children's defense, whether they're right or wrong, so that you can teach them, if they are to get grace by the public opinion, what right and wrong truly means if you failed the first time. You see what I'm saying? He jumped to his defense, and he got him out of there. I mean, as any parent should, but think about it, it's a double-edged sword. Is he gonna do it again? I mean, the man died. Okay, the 17-year-old boy Metcalf is dead now. All right, and so there's a fault that needs to be talked about and served. All right, so you really have to think about it at the long, broad stroke of the situation. But we're gonna move on. Okay, so we got some China news. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, remember, China is going to be talked about all year long. As a matter of fact, the trade war will not be ending anytime soon, and we're going to see how everything goes about. So we got China has stopped the shipping of heavy rare earth minerals and magnets critical to U.S. production to everything from cell phones to fighter jets. Okay, but as Beijing's trade war with Washington simmers, there might be some room for discussions and talks. Okay, China is adamant, you know what I'm saying, about hitting back, punching back in this punching ring of rare earth minerals and what have you. You see what I'm saying? Between the luxury labels, their counterfeit luxury label industry getting cut by the tariffs, they decided to cut the rare earth mineral shipping input and output. Okay, and mind you, China may have a foothold here. That may be a strong punch to the gut, because China exclusively owns all but one of rare earth mineral refineries on the planet. Okay, so you got to understand. So this is a very technical situation. Although, even though China does own exclusively all the rare earth refineries on the planet, and then at the same time the refineries are used to synthesize, you see what I'm saying, these rare earth minerals. There is one refinery in which can be used, but here's the thing, that happens to be in South Africa. Yes, I said it, South Africa, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, South Africa owns R1, an $8 billion refinery of rare earth minerals developed with Re-Element Technologies Corporation, a subsidiary of NASDAQ-listed American Resources Corporation. All right, so it's owned by some very powerful people in the market. Okay, I'm not sure if Trump is friends with these powerful people, because last I checked, he has banned South Africa from doing any kind of trading with the United States. You see what I'm saying? And we all know what that's tied to. All right, I advise y'all to go do y'all research, straight up. But this is where it gets to, again, remember how I keep saying it's 5-6D level chess? All right, so Trump is in a unique position if you follow the geological happenings of the world and the consequences of geological happenings such as trade wars that go on between countries. You see what I'm saying? Especially when they're ran by greedy criminals. All right, especially when they're ran by people who have no civility of law, especially when they're ran by criminals who are prejudiced still to this day, and we are going into 2026. Why is my dark skin? Never mind. Okay. China owns 90% of the world's supply of rare earth minerals. Okay, I mean 90%. And mind you, this was a previous threat from 2019, and China already stopped heavy rare earth minerals in Japan, being shipped to Japan in 2010. I'm not sure what the new scope of that is, but they did not end on good terms. All right, so this has already happened to multitudes of countries throughout the world, and Trump, again, he's in a position to where, okay, so what are you going to do? Are we going to continue to go into the attack? Are we going to play defense on one end? Are we going to play attack on the other? There are things to take in and to keep in account. You see what I'm saying? Don't get it wrong. He's getting all the money. He's grabbing all the dirty money and grabbing all the money that was being wasted all over the planet. You know what I'm saying? From hamsters to squirrels to lions, tigers, and bears. But Now there's a bigger thing at stake here. And mind you, the only people who are really going to feel it are the people on the lower ranks of each ladder. And we're not talking about the homeless. We're not even talking about the impoverished. I'm not even talking about the middle class. I'm talking about actual millionaires getting hit. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about actual billionaires taking L's, especially if you ain't got your LLCs, your non-profits, or your NGOs in order. Okay, don't let you be doing some illegal activities with your payroll. Okay, I know that all too personally well. Payroll fraud is a big thing, especially when you're a billionaire and you're running 20 different LLCs, 5 different nonprofits, 20 different NGOs, and you don't know where the money falls. All right, so I advise the millionaires and billionaires of the world, the people who, the new money even of the world, if y'all are in a position to where y'all might get hit with this trade war, because everyone will be getting hit with this trade war, make no mistake, I advise y'all to get your bearings in order, okay? Because it's getting to the point now in the world to where there are spaces being made for entrepreneurs, new upcoming entrepreneurs, and not just entrepreneurs, people with the skill set, a natural talent, and the dedication of determination of discipline to do the work. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people get rich and get lazy. Then they outsource their work. You see what I'm saying? Make no mistake. You're gonna outsource your work to your competition. Little do you know, and then next thing you know, they under or overcut you with reason. And now they are the millionaire in your position, or now they are the billionaire in your position. Okay, these are the thoughts that came to me upon reading these headlines. All right, this is the Initiative Podcast, and I am taking the initiative to give you this information, and at the same time taking the initiative to give you my sound advice and my sound opinion, and you can connect those dots, create a financial plan, connect those dots, create a motivation, and who knows, you might be the next one. You see what I'm saying? You might very well be the next one. All right, and we're gonna move on. Okay, so no headline on this one. Let's get into the psychological and psychoanalytical standpoints of what's going on in the world just shortly. So between the increased prejudice around the world, between the increasing gap of the rich and the impoverished, mind you, there's a mindset that's filling in the places of the desperate and the stressed. This is what I would like to say. Now, mind you, the podcast of a variety of podcasts, I forgot the name of it specifically in which I was going to refer to, spoke of a let them kind of psychological attitude, where if people don't want you around them and people choose to treat you less than what you deserve, let them. Let them do that so that you can see their character. Let them speak that so you can hear their words. Let them dream that even so that you can understand the kind of ignorance that they choose to work in, especially when there was no reason for them to treat you the way that they did. Okay, it's a psychological analytical tool that assesses, one's behavior versus one's moral reality and personal reality. All right. And I advise y'all to get more into that. Get these books, get these psychology books, get these sociology books. I'm going to be rocking with you. We're going to episode 20 with the flag themes. This is your man's Moo Man on the mic, and I will see you on the next episode. Let's get it.